والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر وقال عز وجل بعد أعوذ من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا صدق الله العظيم اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. We begin by praising Allah the Exalted, the Most High, the Most Glorious, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, beseech Him to send His peace, unlimited peace and blessings upon His beloved and the greatest of our creation, upon our Master Sayyidina Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, upon His family, upon the Ahlul Bayt, and upon the companions, Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radhiyallahu anhu, Sayyidina Umar radhiyallahu anhu, Sayyidina Uthman radhiyallahu anhu, Sayyidina Ali karramallahu wajhul kareem, and upon Sayyidina Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, and all the Sahaba, and upon all the Awliya and Salihin, khususan upon Sayyidina Abdul Qadir al-Jilani, Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Dabbar rahmallah, and upon all the Mashayikh of every turuq, and upon our beloved Master Sayyidina Ahmad Dabbar. May Allah SWT grant them a long and prosperous life, a blessed life, a life of anwarats and blessings, of health and fruitions, a life of bliss in this world as well as the akhirah. We sat here, we've been in a storm, and different places, different towns, some destructions that are taking place, some buildings have been damaged, some railway tracks, like today, people are trying to go home to the loved ones because of Christmas. They can't go because there's railway lines have been disrupted, power lines have been cut, trees have fallen, and so on. You hear about the storm and people take precaution. Natural thing, human beings normally do that. When you know a storm is coming, you start taking precautions, you start taking measures. Strange thing, human beings, and strange thing for a Muslim is that we see and we hear about storms and we start taking protection and we start taking precautions and we start becoming alert. But when we're actually in the midst of the storm of sins and heedlessness, we seem to not pay attention and seem to not do anything. When the storm of sin and we're engulfed in that storm, we're in the midst of that storm and we're drowning in the ocean of sins, but the warnings have already been there. The telltale signs, the adverts, as you say, the forecasters have been telling you that you are about to enter a vicious storm. What is those warnings? You may be asking, what are those warnings? Simple things, simple formula that if you ever want to know, the simple warning, simple formula that for all your life you'll know what is happening, that wait a minute, something's happening here, you need to take heed and lesson. When you will go away from the command of Allah and His obedience, the moment you start going away from the command of Allah and His obedience, know that the storm is coming. A storm is coming. You are thinking, me and you are thinking, it's only a little sin. Isn't it? We all like to think it's only a little sin. As the Mashayikh of the Shuyus have said, is that you're all saying a sin, a little sin, and a major sin. That's how fuqahas have defined what sin is. They said in the fiqh books, they've said this is a major sin, this is a minor sin. But what is a sin? Let's all think about it. What is sin? Sin is anything when you go against the command of Allah. There's a command, Allah's command, you go against it. Isn't it? Are you all agreeing with me? Yes? Yes? A sin is, definition of sin is that when we go against the command of Allah. When we go against the command of Allah, that is a sin. Or when we go against the command of Rasulullah, that is a sin. That is a sin. That's what we all agree, isn't it? So now you tell me, just so that me and you can understand, just that we leave Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah alone, just so that me and you can understand. Imagine your parent, your mother or your father told you, son, don't do this. Son, don't do this. Now, if you do it, you've broken the hukum, the order, isn't the command, isn't it? Yeah? Now, do you sit there and say, oh, is it a big command or is it a little command? What will happen to the parent? They'll be upset, irrespective whether they ask you to do something big. For example, can you actually go to the shop and get some milk? Or can you make sure you actually don't stay up late? What is the difference? The difference is there is nothing really. It's because the command is coming from the parent, that is it. The command has come from the parent, the hukum has come from the parent, that is it. For me and you, it should be it. For the child, it should be it. The child cannot think, is this a big command or is it a little command? It is a minor command or is it a major command? It's a command. At the end of the day, what will happen is the parent will get upset. If the parent gets upset, then what will happen? Then I know something's going to come to me now. Some punishment is going to come, isn't it? Something's going to come. So already the forecast, now we're talking about sin, is that if you are committing and going against the command of Allah, we say breaking command. Shaykh Ahmad al-Baq, our beloved teacher, they mentioned once, is that don't ever think that you can ever break a command of Allah. That is what a sin is. Basically, you're breaking the command of Allah. Nay. They said, you can never break the command of Allah. Why? Rather, you will be broken. If you go against His hukum, His order, you can never break the command of Allah. A sin is breaking the command. Shaykh Ahmad al-Baq, they said is that, nay, that is not the case. You can never break the command of Allah, rather you will be broken. And that is why those people who are drenched in sin, who are engulfed in sin, they are broken people internally and externally. Completely broken. Completely in shatters. Even though you can see they have a body, they have feet, they have legs, they have arms, etc. Yes, they have that. But internally, they're completely shattered. They're in pieces, in terms of why? Because they try to break the command of Allah. Rather, Allah said, how dare you, I will break you instead. That is the difference. So a storm is coming. A storm is brewing. And we take precautions. Today, inshallah, is because of this, I thought it would be quite good to refresh ourselves that we should all reflect is that if a storm is coming, or if I am in the storm, what do I need to do to make sure that I safeguard my Iman? Iman is the most precious gift of being given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is a gift Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave. Now, it is this thing, imagine, of all the things, it is this thing, this valuable thing. No treasure in this world can buy this gift. No treasure. If you accumulated all the gold, all the silver, all the diamond, all the wealth, and you try to actually say, Ya Rabbal Alameen, here's the wealth, grant me Iman. Nay, you can't do that. It won't happen. Illa mashallah, if Allah on the wills that you've given sincerely in the way of Allah, and as a blessing, He may actually give you this, but it can't be bought. The reason why is that this is such a thing, what I'm saying is that this is such a thing, is that it is the differentiator, it is the key, it is the access. Iman is the key, it is the access to what? To heaven and Jannah. Like nowadays we have this wireless doors where what happens, you can even use a mobile phone to open the cars and doors, and we have use a card swipe and it enters. Iman is such a thing is that you go, Jannah already scans, opens. The door of Jannah is opened for you. It is your access. It is your gateway. It is your key to entering Jannah. Hence why no treasure of this world can actually buy this. It is because of Iman, me and you have that status. He's not looking at our shakl. I know, alhamdulillah, you all brothers and sisters, you're all very handsome and beautiful, mashallah. Yes, your beauty is wonderful. I am not that wonderful, but you're all wonderful and beautiful. Every time you look in the mirror, and there are people there, they look younger day by day, mashallah. They say that with time passes, people get older. In our day and age, when time passes, people get younger, and they look younger day by day. There's no sign of age upon them whatsoever. We're not looking at anybody at the back here, but you know who you are. You're looking younger day by day. Now, what's happening is that you are wonderful, but Allah SWT doesn't look at your shakl. Allah SWT doesn't look at your figure. Allah SWT doesn't look at your wealth. Allah doesn't look at your status. Allah SWT doesn't look at anything of you apart from the Iman. He values this so much. And it is this gift